Hey, this is on theme. This is on theme. How many fucking posts do you think we're gonna get like this? You ready for this? You ready for this? Am I the whole for calling someone out of their white elephant gift that was significantly under the spending criteria? The more posts we read about white elephant gift exchanges, the more I think I'm never doing one ever again. A social group that I'm a part of held a white elephant gift exchange last night. Participation was absolutely no means mandatory or even expected. The event was divided up between two. I already think you're an asshole. I already think that you're a piece of shit. The event was divided up between two pricing tiers, under 25 to 50 and 75 to 100. Let's just segregate the poors from the bourgeoisie at Christmas Day. What? The majority of members went with the less expensive tier for obvious reasons. There's absolutely no stigma within our circle for doing so. Is something crawling on me? Oh, that's George. He's a stink bug. He hangs out sometimes. Come on, George. You can't be on here. In fact, only 9 out of our nearly 40 members chose the more expensive tier, myself included. Well, I was picked to go third, and I selected a gift that was wrapped quite beautifully, thinking that was a good sign. But I was disappointed to discover the gift was a hot chocolate set that certainly wouldn't meet the criteria of the lower range, let alone one we were participating in. I was in the big honky-chunky bourgeoisie rich people's group, and I opened a beautifully wrapped gift that wouldn't even make it to the poor table. You could say that I was quite bemused with the situation, that I did not get a gift that was appropriately priced for the rich people table. Varney, you want to get in on here? I don't want to half-ass invite you a third time. I'm going to give you the attention and the respect that you deserve as a creator, and I will what if I'm really pretty? Okay. Copy guest slot 1. We'll go over to the guest scene. Oh, you're already there. Huge. Okay. There we go. Look at us. Okay. I was picked to go third, and I selected a gift that was wrapped quite beautifully, thinking it was a good sign, but I was disappointed to discover the gift was a hot chocolate set that certainly wouldn't have met the criteria of the lower range, let alone one we were participating in. I could tell the others in the group felt roughly the same just by the look on their face, and my focus was directed to the one woman, Jen, who was looking away, clearly embarrassed. As you might imagine, no one took my gift. I know it's petty not to be happy with what you're given, but let's be honest here in saying that Jen was throwing in the sort of thing you'd find on... Jesus fucking Christ. Jen was throwing in the sort of thing you'd find on clearance at Walmart, knowing full well she'd walk away with something pricey in turn. In this case, Jen wound up with a brand new Keurig. This person is disrespectful as hell. I discreetly pulled our social group's leader aside. Okay.
Leader?
Leader. That sounds... Leader. Let's be honest here. What is this social group? Can you name what this social group is? I discreetly pulled our social group's leader aside and mentioned my concern to her. She expressed she wasn't happy with this herself and that she'd tried to tell Jen not to participate.
They said you're too poor to participate.
With the more expensive tier because it was well known that Jen wasn't doing great financially, but Jen had sworn up and down that it wouldn't be an issue.
So instead of just being like, hey, yeah, it's okay if you get something on the cheaper side, they were like, just don't participate at all. Actually, we just don't want you here because we'd rather have nothing from you than something cheap.
Right, Katie, it's Christmas, yo. I don't give a shit if she was in the $75 to $100 white elephant exchange. It's a white elephant exchange. I fucking hate white elephant gift exchanges. They make me so angry. We didn't want to disrupt events, so I was asked to put on a kind face and avoid talking about the gift for the remainder of the evening, which I accepted as people were trying to have fun. This morning, I received a long-winded text chain from Jen expressing how frustrated she was that I'd demeaned her by complaining about her gift. She went on and on about how nice it must be that I can simply throw my money away while others like her are struggling, and that her income shouldn't mean that she can't have nice things.
Because that's literally what she's implying.
Yeah, I mean, that is quite literally what everyone is implying. Instead of fighting, I forwarded the text to our group leader, and I've since received word that Jen would no longer be a member of our social group. Kicked out for poor. Now, if I'm being honest, I do genuinely feel bad because I know how happy being a member of this group made Jen. She has had a lot of setbacks in her life. Well, you don't feel an ounce of remorse. You're going to cry all the way to the bank, huh? I do not hate her or hold any negative feelings for her at all. I simply felt she was knowingly taking advantage of the rest of us to basically trade up beyond her means. If you actually felt bad for her, if you actually were conscientious of the setback she had in life, why would it matter? Why would you care so much to bring this up to people and complain so much? Am I the asshole? Yes. Edit.
Yeah.
So some additional details have emerged in the days since my post. Apparently, our club's leader had never even had the opportunity to speak to Jen following my conversation with her. Instead, Jen was riled up by other group members messaging her following the party, accusing her of taking advantage of the situation. So you got literally everyone to attack her. Okay.
Can I say I don't believe this? I feel like everybody in the thread was calling her an asshole. She's like, wait.
It wasn't me. Everyone else was doing it too. Yeah, no, but no stigma. Right, at the beginning. No stigma for not participating. Sure. So when Jen messaged me in the morning, it was on the assumption that I had been going around talking poorly about her, when in reality, I'd only expressed my concern to the club's leadership. When our club's leader, by the way, I say leader because Am I the Asshole's bot does not like you saying president. That's weird. All right. Called her following me forwarding the text chain. Jen was amped up for a fight and was hostile from the very second she answered the call. After a great deal of insults and cursing from Jen, our leader then decided that she should no longer be welcome in our group going forward. She's staying kicked out even though you have all of the context, is what I'm hearing? Everyone attacked her, basically made her defend herself, painted her defense as aggression, and then kicked her out. Let's break it down. Should she have gone into the higher tier white elephant in the first place? Probably not. But she did anyway. And then everyone ate her alive because of it. There was supposed to be no stigma. The fact that it was split in the first place, fucked up. You're already segregating your social club. And then instead of being in the Christmas spirit and maybe just allowing it to pass, because you were very conscientious of her bad situation, and you all still attacked her.
Maybe she should have sat out, but the OP is still an asshole.
Right. No one handled this like adults. None of the people involved handled this like adults. They just went straight to berating her for being poor and wanting to be included. Yeah, right. I wouldn't want to be a part of this group either. These people are rich, elitist pricks. Yeah. This is a great Beepsmith's Hole Inspector episode. Oh, Kibo. Oh.
I have to move him.
Oh no, we're just moving to lap time. Never mind, that's acceptable. Am I the hole for telling my father-in-law that he cannot arrive at our house at 1 a.m.? My father-in-law is staying with us for 3 weeks over the holidays, which I already find an unacceptable length, but whatever. He told us he was planning on coming up from this weekend from Florida. He will be driving. My wife asked him what time he thinks he might be arriving, and he said 1 a.m. I said that is unacceptable and that he should leave at a different time or stop along the way and get a hotel. We have 2 young children, 8 months and 3.5 years old. The guest bedroom my father-in-law will be staying at requires him to walk past their rooms. Last thing I need is him coming at 1 a.m. making all sorts of noise and waking up everyone. You think he's going to come in as a one-man band?
Yeah,
shooting off air horns? Like, what?
Toss a key under the mat and all that.
Right. My wife was talking to my father-in-law, and she was pushing back a little bit, and I kept quiet until he said, "There's another way of looking at this. A man coming to visit his family. Like we are lucky to be graced by his presence." I had to chime in and say, "No, 1 a.m. is unacceptable." He replied, "You're entitled to your opinion." Okay, it's not your house, okay? So if they say 1 a.m. is unacceptable, like, deal with it, you know? The conversation got a bit heated after that comment, with it resulting in him agreeing to arrive at a normal time. Now, my wife is trying to guilt trip me into being the bad guy for making him arrive at a normal time. Am I the whole?
But I thought the wife was also trying to push for the normal time.
The wife was pushing back a little bit, but then
But still pushing back.
it was, yeah, exactly. So now the wife is mad for OP being assertive, I guess. So the tag that Reddit has is not enough info, which I am starting to agree with. Top comment asks for info. How far is he traveling? What time will he be leaving to reach you at 1 a.m.? And who decided he was staying with you for 3 weeks? From Southern Florida to New England, 20 hours one way. He likes to do it on a single trip. 3 weeks was mostly between my wife and him, with my reluctant approval on the condition that he watches the kids New Year's Eve and he gets trained to take care of the baby the weeks leading up to New Year's Eve. I'm starting to lean towards everyone sucks here. Communicate better.
Yeah. The wife also pushed back. So why is she
Right.
now being like, why didn't you do that?
Right.
Yeah, also same. I am leaning towards OP. Like, if not wanting to wake the kids is understandable, and if you can leave at a different time, because if you're doing
Right.
a trip at one point, like, it's not like he's doing it to avoid traffic at any point.
It
'Cause
just
if he's going
that's
for
just what
20
he
hours,
likes.
he's gonna hit traffic no matter what. Yeah.
It's where the father-in-law was told, "Hey, we don't want you waking up your grandkids," and he had an issue with that. True.
Yeah.
True. I think communication could have been better. More like they could have met in the middle a little better. But it sounds like they already kind of butt heads. So I feel like egos were kind of clashing here a little bit.
For sure. There was elder entitlement, but there's also, you can tell there's just not something, because he's already like, I'm already upset that he's here for 3 weeks.
Right.
Like, okay, you don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like him.
Right. Okay, now I think I've dug deep into these holes enough, and I'm ready for some keyword searches. Vine, do you have a keyword for us?
I want to do some, I feel like in the holiday spirit,
Okay.
we should do something related to department stores, you know? Like a nice Kohl's or Sears or Macy's. Like something's,
Okay.
Ladies love catfights.
They sure do.
Let's go with Target. It's probably more relevant these days.
Target. Am I the whole for telling my ex his lack of money is not my issue? I, 36 female, have a daughter, Sadie, 12, with my ex-husband, John, 39. I already hate him.
Ex-husband already changes everything.
We got divorced 5 years ago, and I have primary custody while he sees her 2 weekends a month. That's like nothing. Last year, he got married to Amanda, who has sole custody of her kids, 10 and 8 female, from a previous marriage. Amanda is a stay-at-home mom, not for any health reasons or so on. She just doesn't want to work, while John works a 9 to 5. He makes good money to support them, but not enough to live in luxury. I have a much higher paying job since it's just me and Sadie. I make sure that she has the best possible life. She goes to a private school, set her up a college fund, and she has much better things than most kids, phones, clothes, etc. I still manage to raise her to be humble and not take things for granted, and she's one of the hardest working people I know, always making sure to get good grades and keep her room tidy. I don't trust like that, but that's not the crux of the story here. Well, the last few times she came back after a weekend at John's, I noticed that the clothes she was bringing back in her duffel are A, not her size, and B, much cheaper and poorer quality than what I usually buy for her. I asked her why that is, and she told me that while she's at her dad's, Amanda takes away her nice clothes and gives them to her kids, while Sadie gets the clothes they buy from Target. I asked her if she wanted them back, but she said she didn't mind sharing since all her favorite clothes were kept here. The problem came when I went to pick her up last weekend. I had a business meeting and couldn't drive her over, so Amanda offered to just pick Sadie up from school, which hadn't happened before. When I got there on Sunday, John and Amanda asked me to sit down with them, and when Sadie came to hug me, Amanda sent her to her room quite harshly, saying her punishment wasn't over yet. I was confused because Sadie very rarely misbehaves.
Sorry, I'm getting trauma flashbacks of the evil stepmother.
Yeah, I'm so sus right now. They set me down in the kitchen and said that it was unfair for Sadie to be going to private school while her kids go to a public one. So they decided that Sadie would be pulled.
What?
They decided that Sadie would be pulled out of private school and put in the same school as the girls. You decided that? You decided that. So you're wanting to pull her out of private school, and now you're saying that she's punished for doing so? They also said I should keep up Sadie's punishment because when they told her, she blew up at them, told them it wasn't fair, and yelled that Amanda and her kids weren't even her real family, that all they did was steal. Good for her. Good for her. Good for you. Setting your 12 years old, by the way. I told them in no uncertain terms to fuck off. I would not be pulling my child out of a school she likes away from her friends because they can't afford it. I told them they could easily make as much money as me if Amanda started working in her field because she has the qualifications and the job market is very good. I told them their money problems are not my issue, and if Sadie's items got stolen again or they try to pull her out of school, I'll be taking this to court. They've been blowing up my phone ever since, calling me a selfish asshole, and after telling the story to a friend, he told me that I was rubbing my success in their face?
Cut him off.
Bad friend? This ain't about literally anyone, but having and giving good opportunities for your fucking daughter.
All of these people, except for their mom, are literally the type of people that are like, I suffered, so you suffer.
Literally, right. I didn't feel like I did anything wrong. Still, am I the whole? We've got an edit and an update. Let's see what happens. There was an edit first. I got temporary guardianship. I got temporary guardianship while waiting for the court hearing. We're going to try to get full custody and have John get 1 day a week of visitation supervised for at least a few months and no contact with Amanda or her kids. This way, he still sees Sadie just as much and they can try to repair their relationship, but she doesn't have to go back there. All contact between us is made through emails, which are CC'd by my lawyer, and I've asked for Sadie's things back. I've talked to Sadie and we've decided that she's going to try therapy for a little while to help deal with everything that's happened.
I love this mom.
Update. We've had the hearing and our custody arrangement's been modified. Any and all decisions relating to Sadie are made by me and me alone. John has supervised visitation once a week, and Sadie will continue in therapy to deal with all the issues Amanda and company have caused her. They tried to push for 50-50 custody split on grounds of alienation, so me trying to put Sadie against her father, but we made it clear from the start that we wanted to keep Amanda and her children away and wanted supervision only because we don't feel safe leaving him alone as of yet, but that we were open to modifications. Thanks to that, the proof of stealing and Sadie's therapist's testimony, their claim was thrown out pretty quickly. Amanda's pissed and has tried to contact me and Sadie, but I made it clear to her that if she keeps harassing me or my daughter, I'll have to make this known to the authorities. Sadie and I have blocked her everywhere, and any communication between John and us is made through text messages and emails only. I'd like to thank you all for your support throughout all of this. It really means a lot to us. Sending you loads of love.
Good fucking shit.
Good fucking mom.
Yeah, I should probably do that, huh? Yeah, good fucking mom.
Good fucking mom. God, honestly, like, that's not even the crux of the story here. It ain't about that. It's about your ex literally taking resources away from his own child's well-being because he can't handle not providing for his current family.
They literally were like, we're pulling her from private and putting her to public because we think it's unfair. Like what?
The only person it's not fair to is your daughter.
The one that you're pulling from the private to the public.
Right. Bad. Very bad. Wet noodle husband. Spineless wet noodle baby man. If you would like to choose the next keyword for our keyword search, type the word hole into chat. Letitia, what's our keyword? Asthma inhaler or just inhaler? Let's try inhaler. All right, Dickie has started. Hit me with that title.
Am I the asshole for uninviting my cousin, brother, uncle, and dad to my wedding? Over a prank. I, F22, grew up in a family where men prank and tease each other. Ever since my fiance, Tim, 23, and I got engaged, my cousin, brother, dad, and uncle joked about running some tests to see what type of man Tim is. They've done stuff like forcing him to play chess 4 times in a row, secretly slashed his tires to see if he'd fix it himself like a man or get help like those lazy guys. They'd ask him questions like what joke he'd tell to his future mother-in-law, his opinions on abortion, Jesus, gender equality, etc. This is already shaping up to be great.
Yeah.
They also tested his fishing and hunting skills, overwhelmed him with hypothetical scenarios to test his decision-making abilities and mental strength. They kept calling him slow and soft, but he has a medical condition, asthma. But they think he's making excuses. I demanded they stop, but Dad said this is just typical stuff men challenge each other with, and said that I was ruining the fun.
Bad, wrong, awful. It's not a contest.
Before we continue with this is your reminder, everybody, that just because they're your family doesn't mean you need to stay around them.
Real. The real family is the friends we made along the way.
Last week, they took Tim on a 3-day trip and hid his inhaler. He left them and returned in 7 hours and told me. I was seething after he had said they admitted to hiding it as a challenge. I exploded on them when they returned. Cousin asked if little Timmy ran to me to tattle. I yelled that all 4 of them are uninvited to my wedding. My brother freaked out by saying it was a prank and that they were going to give it back. Dad said they'll apologize if I insist, but Tim will have lost the little respect they'd gained for him, and in their eyes will always be the soft college kid who's not up for the challenge. I called him and the others awful, and then I left.
If being called the soft college kid who's not up for the challenge means that I get to rest knowing that I'm better than literally all of you because I wouldn't prevent someone from having their life-saving medication, Oh no, I'm the soft college kid. I don't give a fuck what you think. And a real man wouldn't give a shit either. So...
Slashed his tires and then hid his life-saving medical supplies.
Yep.
My cousin is begging that we talk. My uncle has been quiet, and my dad is so mad, and now he's getting Mom involved to get me to reconsider this decision.
No.
But I keep refusing to reinvite them. Mom is saying I'm exaggerating and should let bygones be bygones and not let this ruin my relationship with my family.
Let bygones be bygones. So what if your husband could have literally suffocated and died? Yeah, never talk to them again. Cut them out of your life. 100%.
No, I would never speak to them ever
No
again.
contact immediately.
Yeah, like if that was reversed and somebody did that to me, like I'm with my partner, whatever, and they decide to do that, and they're like, yeah, hide their inhaler, it'd be funny. I'm changing the trajectory of their lives.
Yeah.
For lack of a better statement.
100%. A prank is something that the prankee can also laugh at. I ain't fucking laughing if I've got to suddenly spend $600 on new tires.
A lot of the replies are obviously all saying not the asshole, but there's quite a few of them saying that she's the asshole for letting it go on for so long.
Fair. You know what? That's fair. It went way too fucking far. They're just bullying him now and committing felonies. No. Oh no. We're gonna be here for a long ass time.